In this video, we're going to talk about how to find the measures of central tendency for grouped data. So if you remember in the last class, or the other set of videos that we were recorded earlier, I simulated 100 dice being rolled 100 times, and then I summarized that data in this table here. Okay. Now what this means, this is a frequency distribution table, and what it's saying is that the value of 1 came up 15 times. The value of 2 came up 19 times. The value of 3 came up 13 times, and so on and so forth. So if I wanted to find the mean of this data set, I can't use a built-in formula. Because if I use a built-in formula average to average these values, I'm going to get 3.5. If I use average to average these values, I'm going to get 16.67. Neither of those are the actual average value. And obviously 16.67 is not going to be the average value because the smallest value I can get off of one die is a 1, and the largest value I can get is a 6. So 3.5 seems more like it. But I don't know that that's exactly how it came out for this distribution. So what I need to do is I need to think about this as if it were, and again, I rolled it 100 times. So I need to figure out the sum here is 100. That's how many times it was rolled. That's the number of numbers in this data set. So what I could do is I could think of this as 15 being, sorry, not 15, 1 being written out 15 times. And then 2 being written out 19 times. But this defeats the whole purpose of having a spreadsheet if I have to write this all the way out. And then I could find the average using the average formula that way. But I can do this much faster using the spreadsheet. So I know that I had 15 ones. That contributes 15 times 1 to the total value of all the dice that were rolled. And I had 19 twos. So that contributes 19 times 2 to all of the total value of all of the rolls. Now, I don't need to do this formula 4 more times. The formula is take this number and multiply it by this number, or take this number and multiply it by this number. It doesn't matter. I can autofill this. So I'm going to click in that bottom corner. I'm going to drag it down. So the 13 threes contributed 39 to my total number of the total value of all of the rolls. And the 17 fours contributed 68, and the 19 5 contributed 95, and the 17 sixes contributed 102. So if I add all of this up, if I add up those values, all of the rolls, if I add up the value that was on the die when I rolled it for a 100 rolls, I get 357. So that's the total value of all of the rolls, all 100 rolls. Now, if I want to find the average, I just added up all the numbers. Now I have to divide by the number of numbers. So I'm going to take the previous number and divide it by the number of numbers, which is the sum of all of the rolls. So the total number of rolls, that sum will come out to 100, so this will come out to 3.57, which was close to 3.5, but it's not 3.5, it's 3.57. So this is the mean for this data set. Again, I need to multiply these two columns together to get how much each value contributed to the total. There were 15 ones, so that contributes 15. and 19 twos, and so on and so forth. So I need the total value of all the rolls divided by the number of rolls, and that gives me the 3.57. And again, if you're interested to know what the total number of rolls is, that's the sum of this column, which is 100. So I'm taking the 357, dividing it by 100, that gives me 3.57. That's my mean. That's the average value that shows up when I roll a dice, when I rolled the dice this 100 times. So now, how do I find the median of this summarized data, this grouped data? Well, I know that there were 100 rolls. That's an even number. So there are 50 numbers in the bottom half. There are 50 numbers in the top half. So that means the average of 50 and 51 is going to be what the median is. So I need to find the position of the median. The position of the median is going to be in the 51st, between the 50th and the 51st spot. So I need to figure out where the 50th spot is first. Notice, down at the bottom, it tells me the sum. Down here, it's telling me the sum as I highlight these cells. So I'm up to 34. Now I'm up to 47. So far, I'm at position 47. So let's just write down the position at this point. Okay. So after rolling all of the ones, I'm at position 15. I actually want to sum this with itself. Now as I drag this down, it's going to do a running sum, okay? Cumulative sum. So I started with 15 rolls. After rolling the ones and the twos, 15 plus 19 gives me 34. And then 15 plus 19 plus 13 gives me 47. And then add another 17, that's 64. Now we already said that the position of the median is going to be between the 50th and the 51st roll. Well, if this ends the 47th roll after I rolled all my threes, that means that both the 50th and the 51st roll, when I order all of my data in, when I put them from smallest to biggest, the 50th and the 51st roll are both 4s. What's the average of 4 with itself? It's 4. So because this was in position, between position 50 to 51, they were both 4s, the average is going to be this number, 4. So the median is 4 here. And what's the mode? The mode is really easy when we're talking about group data, especially like this. We have a 19 and a 19. So there were 19 twos, there were 19 fives. So 2 and 5 are both the mode. And if you wanted to put a border around that so that we can see that both the 2 and the 5 are modes, that would be helpful. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this frequency distribution table. First, we're going to talk about some of these other things that we can talk about when looking at a frequency distribution table. And then we will find the mean, median, and mode for this data set. See you in the next video.